about the pill. How does it work in the body? Does it regulate periods? What does it actually do?
So the pill was brought about in the 1960s, and back then it was used to regulate hormones. But how it does that is it actually introduces into the body things called pseudohormones. So they're not exactly the same as the hormones you produce. They mimic the effects of the hormones, of the natural hormones that your body produces. So it's not actually a real hormone. It just has similar effects. What the pill actually does is it prevents you from ovulating. So when you take the pill, you're not really having a real period. Your body is tricked into thinking it's pregnant. It doesn't ovulate, and so you cannot fall pregnant.
Right. Okay. So how does that work with the cycle of the pill, where you take it for, I think, is it what is it, for 3 weeks or something, and then there's like a sugar pill that you take for a week? So how does that work then in the controlling of the period and the cycle?
It doesn't really control your period in that it just stops you from ovulating.
Yep.
So the 21 days of taking the pill, which is a mixture of synthetic estrogen and synthetic progesterone, tricks the pituitary into thinking you're already pregnant, so you don't ovulate. Then the 7 days of the sugar pill is when you have your period. But that is arbitrary. You don't have to have the 7. You can just keep taking the actual pill non-stop if you wanted to. The reason why we have the sugar pills is so that women feel more comfortable that what they're doing is close to what their body naturally does.
Right. So, that's a little deceiving, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
Really, what would be the purpose of someone taking it then, of taking the pill? Is it just to stop pregnancy, to stop getting pregnant, or?
So birth control is a major reason, although doctors will also prescribe it for things like acne. For women that have irregular menstruation, they will often go on the pill, hoping that normalizes them, but it doesn't really normalize them. It just masks a situation within the body. Because the body has a very unique way of telling us if things are, in terms of, it will give you signs and symptoms. But if you're just going to take the pill, you're just going to mask away what your body's trying to tell you. So basically that's a mechanism that the body uses, which is part of your endocrine system, which is very finely tuned to figure out what kind of hormones that you need to produce and so on. So basically you're just completely annihilating that system and flooding the body with synthetic, what we call pseudohormones.
And what are some side effects and not so good side effects with doing that?
So obviously there's many side effects from taking the pill.
Yep.
One of the biggest problems is blood clots. You can increase your chances of having a blood clot.
Wow.
So that's one of the major ones.
Yep.
It's been also shown that certain types of cancers can increase, such as breast cancer.
Right.
Other known side effects include hair loss and loss of libido. So some pretty stuff there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I wonder why is it still something that's quite driven in the female women's health market then? If it creates so many issues for women, why do you think it's still one of the biggest forms of contraception that's used worldwide? If, I mean, just listening to you now, that's the biggest turnoff really, to stop taking it or not to have it. So why would women still be using it?
Okay, so it's actually one of the better in terms of fail-safe methods,
right,
for birth control.
Right.
Forget that also there's not only the pill that you take orally, but you can also get the things like Implanon, and you can get hormones as part of a Mirena inserted into your vagina, and they also release of the hormones, which also prevent you from falling pregnant, things like that.
Wow.
The pill or the synthetic hormones is, absorbed by the body through several different ways. So it's a very fail-safe. It does work really well for things like acne.
Right.
And it does kind of give you a sense of normalized period, because you definitely have a known time for when your theoretical period should come. Having said that, in my experience of seeing many, many women on the pill, sometimes it doesn't work that well. Sometimes there's quite often things like breakthrough bleeds. So even though a woman is on the pill, they might still bleed at random times.
Okay.
And so it's never fail safe 100%.
Yeah. And so you spoke about the acne. How does it work to deal with acne? I guess I don't know a lot about acne. I thought acne was more a cystic thing in the skin cells of the face. So how does it work to do that? What's it doing to the body to help it fight back and prevent or heal or get rid of acne?
So it is actually giving your body some sort of pseudo hormones and regulate. And obviously, because you don't have the follicular phase and the luteal phase, you're just in a constant state of the body thinking it's pregnant, then you don't have fluctuation of hormones that your body naturally produces. And hormones are one of the things that increases your chances of getting things like acne and cystic acne and so on, such as things like that.
Yeah, like hormonal breakouts and things like that as well.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So obviously, as a child matures and they go through puberty, that's when most likely they're going to start getting their acne.